Wine Country Adventures. 10 ways to eat, drink and play in Sonoma Valley in 2023. Spring has arrived in Sonoma's wine country, painting the hillsides in shades of green and the sunny yellow of mustard blossoms. It's bud break season in the vineyards, and there's a sense of possibility everywhere you look. After staying close to home for so long, everything feels new these days. As we ramble through the Barlow and stroll Sonoma streets, explore new eateries and gamble through winery sculpture gardens. Whether you go now or wait for one of Wine Country's big events, the Healdsburg Wine and Food Experience in May, say, or Taste of Sonoma in June, fresh opportunities to eat, drink and play abound. Here are 10 possibilities to while your weekend away. Pete. Troubadour Bread Ampersand Bistro, Healdsburg. When in Wine Country, who doesn't need a damn good gourmet deli sandwich? Reasonably priced meals are an absolute must when it comes to pricey wine tasting jaunts. Get your bread base and so much more at Troubadour Bread Ampersand Bistro, a small boulangerie and cafe across from the plaza in downtown Healdsburg. Troubadour is the brainchild of baking dynamo duo Melissa Yank and Sean McGee of Condor Ampersand Whale fame. The sandwich shop specializes in fresh baked daily, naturally fermented bread, local ingredients and a lot of chefy touches, like sumac roasted carrots that are folded into burrata and pesto, or chicken salad studded with sunflower seed dudka. There are about half a dozen sandos to enjoy inside, on the patio or for grab and go, as well as a few baked goods, like a knockout canola flavored with buckwheat. Details. Open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. plus prefix dinner service from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Tuesday, Saturday at 381 Healdsburg Avenue, Healdsburg, www.troubadourhpg.com. Drink. Tasting at Caddis Wines, Sonoma in an era of concierge-style wine tasting. This new, pint-sized tasting room, it's 400 square feet, offers an experience that is slowly disappearing in Wine Country. The opportunity to drink with a local, award-winning winemaker in a casual setting for less than $40. At Caddis, which opened in 2020 and is sandwiched between a shoe store and jewelry shop in Sonoma Square, owner winemaker Chris Sorensen is perched behind the bar most days of the week, pouring tastes from his portfolio of small lot wines. He makes about 1,000 cases. There's a lush Cabernet, a Merlot that swarms your palate with chocolate-covered cherries, and a crisp sauce of Pinot Noir that's summer picnics in a glass, and you won't find them in grocery stores. With seating for about 6, the space is small enough to host easy conversation, not bachelorette parties. Sorensen may tell you about the prized Sonoma and Livermore vineyards where he sources his fruit and why he began making Merlot before Sideways and never stopped. But he'll also ask about you, as he's pouring that very generous fifth taste. Details. $30. We walked in, but reservations are recommended. Open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily at 190 Napa Street, Sonoma, www.caddiswine.com. Eat Ampersand Sleep. The Flamingo Resort's Leisure Club, Santa Rosa, a big renovation in 2021 gave this mid-century modern plenty of style, from the glammed-up lobby to its 170 sleek guest rooms and suites, arranged in spokes that fan out from the resort's swimming pool. The splashes are reserved for resort guests, but the Flamingo's Leisure Club bar and eatery are open to anyone craving a tropical vacation in the midst of their wine country getaway. And so is Vintage Space, the resort's retro music lounge, which opened in August and offers everything from karaoke to baccarat dance nights. It all hails from restaurateurs Anderson Pudish and Benson Wang, San Francisco's Pond House and the Dorian, who evoke the restaurant's tropical vibe via lush plants, sand and wood tones, and rattan chairs surrounding those outdoor fire pits. The cocktail is $13, $15, includes Maites, of course, plus a tequila and mezcal Mount Tamarin and a rum-centric Leisure painkiller, as well as local wine and craft beer. Small, shareable plates range from bao to the pork with kimchi slaw $12, and pork belly lard $17, to coconut green curry $17, with seasonal vegetables. Details. The Leisure Club opens at 7 a.m. on weekdays, 8 a.m. on weekends. Rooms at the resort, one of the more affordable lodging options we've found for Wine Country pampering, start at $189 per night, plus a resort fee of $35 per day. Find the Flamingo Resort at 2777 4th Street in Santa Rosa, www.flamingoresort.com. Eat Ampersand Drink. The Matheson Wine Wall, Healdsburg, looking to taste a wide variety of wines without winery hopping. When chef-owner Dustin Bullett opened his newest restaurant, The Matheson, on Healdsburg's main square in 2021, he installed not only a bar, but a wine wall stocked with 88 different wines on rotation. It's aimed at curious wine lovers who want to explore regions and varietals sip by sip, rather than order a bottle. Bullett and beverage director John McCarthy offer flight inspiration for the tasting ahead, or you can create your own themed flight by region, grape or whimsy. Swipe your card, choose your wine and pour yourself a 1 ounce sip, a 2 ounce sample or 5 ounce glass. It could be a Mary Edwards Sauvignon Blanc from Sebastopol, perhaps, or a Leroy de Pyrasilix Sancerre from France's Loire region, or both. The high-end first floor restaurant offers farm-to-fork fare such as aged Sonoma duck $38, with pistachios, kiwi and young leeks, and braised shortbread $52, with umami hollandaise. Head up to roof 106 for a more casual, alfresco experience with intriguing cocktails, small plates and 9 tempting pizzas $18, $29, blistered in a Mugnini wood-fired oven. Details: the wine wall opens at 4 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, and at noon Friday, Saturday. The Matheson restaurant opens at 5 p.m. Tuesday, Saturday, reservations recommended. And roof 106 opens at 4 p.m. Sunday, Thursday and noon Friday, Saturday, limited reservations, walk-ins accepted. 106 Matheson Street, Healdsburg, www.thematheson.com. Drink. Love at Paradise Ridge, Santa Rosa. You could visit Paradise Ridge solely for the art. Oh sure, the Santa Rosa Winery's Confessor GSM blend and the Sparkling Ross, especially that Sparkling Ross, are a draw. So is the view. The summer concerts with food trucks, the unhurried comfort of the terrace, and the deliciousness of the charcuterie boards, with their salumi and cheeses, cornichon and dried tropical fruit. But even if you're not into all that, this winery property and its explosion of art, creativity and love are worth the drive all by themselves. The 156-acre vineyard estate high above the city includes a 4-acre sculpture garden, Marriage's Grove, inspired by winery owner Walter Bick's late wife, and massive Burning Man Ace creations dot the property. But the centerpiece and the enduring symbol of hope after the 2017 Tubbs wildfire is the 12-foot-tall love statue that stands in a meadow below the tasting room. The flames burned the winery to the ground that autumn, but Laura Kimpton's iconic steel tribute to the transformative power of love survived. The sculpture garden, including David Best's massive, mystical Temple of Remembrance, which also survived the fire, reopened the following year, and the winery reopened in December 2019, just 4 months before the pandemic hit. You'd never know it now. The tasting room and terrace bustle with happy wine lovers, and art installations abound in the groves and blends. A towering cylinder of colorful doors greets visitors near the road. The fluttering, rippling edges of kinetic sculptures shift in the breeze, and wine tastings await. Details: the sculpture garden is open to the public from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily at 4545 Thomas Lake Harris Drive in Santa Rosa. Reserve the wine tasting $35 and up, and charcuterie and cheese platter for $235 at www.prwinery.com. Play. Amy Art Walk, Sebastopol. Stroll down Sebastopol's Florence Avenue, and you'll spot witty superheroes, whimsical animals, crazed ice cream truck drivers, and other colorful characters every 40 feet. There's Boba Fett, the Mad Hatter Lake, of course, and a bright red retro rocket ship ready for blast off. And more. So much more. This is the land of jump art sculptor Patrick Amiot and his fans, neighbors who contributed front yard space to create what is essentially a street-side gallery of winsome, whimsical works of art by Amiot and his wife, Bridget Lauren, whose creative paintwork brings these people and creatures to life. Spend a little time in this part of wine country, and you're sure to spot other Amiot Lauren collaborations. There are scores of them, including a giant dog at the Sonoma County Humane Society on Highway 12. But a casual art walk on Florence Avenue offers a concentration of delights, courtesy of 25 Amiot Lauren characters. Tell that adorable blue Batman we sent you. Details: free. Florence Avenue, Sebastopol, http://patrickamiot.com. Keith. WM Cofield Cheesemakers, Sebastopol. The aroma of tomatoes, basil and molten mozzarella wafts temptingly from the terrace at Acre Pizza at the Barlow, the former fruit processing plant here in the heart of Gravenstein Apple Country. Crowds bustle on the patio at Crooked Goat Ring and stroll the Barlow sidewalks, peeking into restaurants, shops, and is that a Union Jack painted cow? The British bovine presides over the entrance to WM Cofield, where cheesemaker Keith Adams offers tales of Kurds, way in the UK, as well as samples of his English-style cheddar and Stilton Ace Gotta Blue. Adams trained in England, he says, but he's a Minnesota boy at heart. So you'll find Midwestern-style cheese curds in the shop's refrigerated display case too, along with plenty of picnic inspiration. In addition to WM Cofield fromage, the case holds Bent River cheese from Adams Limerick Cheese Company, Montana, Temp from Cowgirl Creamery, and Salumi from Healdsburg's Journeyman Meat, Colorado. Want to dine there? You can enjoy cheese boards, grilled cheese Sammy's $16, and glorious tomato soup $10 at the Willie's and Pub tables just outside. Details: open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, Monday at the Barlow, 6780 McKinley St. Cash 110, Sebastopol, www.mcofieldchasecon. The aroma of tomatoes, basil and molten mozzarella wafts temptingly from the terrace at Acre Pizza at the Barlow, the former fruit processing plant here in the heart of Gravenstein Apple Country. Crowds bustle on the patio at Crooked Goat Ring and stroll the Barlow sidewalks, peeking into restaurants, shops, and is that a Union Jack painted cow? The British bovine presides over the entrance to WM Cofield, where cheesemaker Keith Adams offers tales of Kurds, way in the UK, as well as samples of his English-style cheddar and Stilton Ace Gotta Blue. Adams trained in England, he says, but he's a Minnesota boy at heart. So you'll find Midwestern-style cheese curds in the shop's refrigerated display case too, along with plenty of picnic inspiration. In addition to WM Cofield fromage, the case holds Bent River cheese from Adams Limerick Cheese Company, Montana, Temp from Cowgirl Creamery, and Salumi from Healdsburg's Journeyman Meat, Colorado. Want to dine there? You can enjoy cheese boards, grilled cheese Sammy's $16, and glorious tomato soup $10 at the Willie's and Pub tables just outside. Details: open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, Monday at the Barlow, 6780 McKinley St. Cash 110, Sebastopol, www.mcofieldchasecon. Oyster. The restaurant hails from Japan, the restaurateur and chef behind Sushi Kosho, just across the street. The lowercase oysters are marinadas $18 for half a dozen, served on the half shell with a classic champagne midinette, or fried and tucked into kaboy $24, or baked into a mouth-watering oysters dynamite $17 for 3, topped with smoky bacon, Takiko aioli and scallions. Mules, fried calamari and other seafood dishes round out the menu. And the wine list is curated by Pax Mahal of nearby Pax Wines. Not into seafood. French bubbles paired with duck fat fries with garlic aioli for dipping counts as dinner in our book. Details: open from 2 to 8 p.m. daily at 6751 McKinley Street, Suite 130, in Sebastopol. www.oystersebastopol.com. Keat. Redbird Bakery, Sebastopol and Kotati. The newest pastry and picnic haven at the Barlow is Redbird Bakery, the brainchild of bakers Isaac and Linda Chermak, whose last name means Redbird in Czech. Isaac hails from Mapas and soon to be Walnut Creek's Model Bakery and Petaluma's Della Fattoria, where Linda, the pastry queen, baked too. Pop into this tiny bakery for pastries $4, $6, croissants, for example, and cinnamon rolls and galettes and retrograde coffee espresso drinks. Heading out on a picnic. Grab a sandwich $9, ham and Brianna Fizzle perhaps, or a square of house-baked pizza topped with thinly sliced red peppers and potatoes or pepperoni, yellow peppers and mushrooms to enjoy indoors or out on the grassy area outside, where children tumble and frolic. Details: open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday, Sunday at 6770 McKinley Street in Sebastopol, and from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday, Sunday at 556 Kotati Avenue, in Kotati, www.redbirdbakery.com.